Alright guys, welcome back to Nick's 812 Fishing. Today, we are actually not doing a fishing video, we're actually going to do another reel review. I am going to get into it. I did take back the Curado DC and exchange it for another reel, which you'll see here in a moment. Not that the Curado DC was a bad reel and all, it just, personally, I thought that I was going to like the Curado, that I was going to like the DC noise more than I did. Just over time out in the cold, it just kind of wore me down, and I found myself going back to my Shimano SLX setup just to, because it was a more quieter setup and it was honestly a little bit lighter, and I just found myself going back to it each time, and I really wanted to catch a fish on that rod, let alone the reel, and I didn't have it in me to do it, just how heavy that rod and reel was. But I did go, I transferred it out. I got another reel, that a brand I haven't used yet, so we are going to try that out. But I'm basically going to go in here, do the review, tell you guys pros, cons about what I like about the reel personally, and we're going to get into it. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, like button, follow all the way to the end of the video, and let's get it. Okay, so I'm sure by now you guys are wondering what reel I went with. Well, as you can see here, I did go with a Daiwa. I've never used their brand. I've heard they're really good reels. A little bit cheaper, but overall it had some of the stuff that I did want. So I went with it. I'm gonna try it out. If it doesn't work, worst thing comes to worst, take it back. But I went with the Tatula 100 HS. This is a 7:1:1. It comes in at 6.9 ounces with 11 pounds of drag, which isn't much at all, but my SLX has 11 pounds of drag, and that perfectly is fine. That was another thing with the Curado. I think it had 10 pounds of drag, either 10 or 11, but it did not feel like 11. Like with that Curado, you can really lock it down, and on this one you can too. With the SLX, but on the Curado you just couldn't. I don't know why. It comes in 29.8 inches per turn, so it's going to be nice and slow for this winter, but if I also need to reel it fast, I can during the summer. It has 7 balls, and let's reword that a little bit. It has, it's a 7-ball bearing system, well 8, but it has 7-to-1. This is the box, pretty plain box. I mean, you open it up, all you get really, there's no reel in here because it's on a rod. All you get really is reel instructions. That's all you get. Shimano, you're getting oil, you're getting bubble wrap, and they're filling that box as much as they can. I guess it's time to pull out the heavy hitter, right? Boom, there it is. Nice looking reel on this rigged rod. That's one thing I wanted. I wanted a reel that was gonna look good on this rod. You know, I could have just went and got another SLX, but that SLX does great. It's a really good reel, but I wanted something. I mean, blue doesn't obviously go with red that great. So I went with this reel. I mean, it's pretty much all black. It has a couple red accents here and there. I put 15-pound Seagull red label on it. Like I said, do I even have the drag maxed all the way out? Yeah, I probably have drag maxed all the way out. It does whenever you're fishing, it does just kind of like, whenever you put that down, it has that right there. And here, let me see if I get that closer for you guys. I'm not breaking the rod. So whenever you put this down, watch the line keeper. So the line's like that, right? Put it down, that line keeper goes back, and that's supposed to increase distance and just smoothness of the reel. Overall, it has really lightened up this rod quite a bit to have this reel on it. I do feel like I can go out now, throw this rod all day, have no problems, because I do believe this rod might be a tad bit heavier than the Defender, but past that, I mean, this reel's coming at 6.9 ounces. I think the SLX, not the SLX, the Curado DC was coming in at 7.9, something like that. Something crazy. But this reel, I mean, feels good in the hand, light reel. I can definitely see myself, I have a spinnerbait title on there. I can definitely see myself going out all day fishing with this reel and not having any problems whatsoever. Obviously, I think I might get out tomorrow and do a little bit of fishing with it. Just depends on how the weather's going. But I do believe that this reel is and will be good for the channel. That and that SLX caught my 3 biggest fish ever. But I do believe, I'm not hating on the DC. You know, everybody loves the DC. I'm not hating on it. It was a good reel, casting to the wind a mile, everything else. But it was just, after a while, I started getting tired of that noise. I got tired of that DC noise. It just, you know, whenever you're out there in the cold, you get aggravated quick. And I couldn't do that noise. I don't like beeping. I don't like any of that. So I could not do that noise. So I finally just said, you know what, I'm taking it back. Even though it was a great reel, smooth, nice, all that, I'm taking it back. I'm not doing the DC noise. There's no reason for me to have a DC. I feel like it was actually making me a little bit lazier because I was relying on that DC more than I was my own skills to stop that lure. So, but I do believe that this is going to be a really nice addition. I'm hoping there's going to be some fish caught on it this winter. If not, this spring, there's definitely going to be some fish caught on it. I did have another video lined up for today, but I did not go through with it because we had some stuff come up and stuff like that. So I was out fishing, but we just didn't complete that video. But coming soon, there will be a video of me fishing with this reel. I might go out tomorrow, like I said, go out, test it out, see how it feels in the hand fishing, hopefully catch something, or at least get a bite. That way we can feel what it feels like to catch something. But I mean, 11 pounds of drag, that's not a lot. I mean, you click that all the way down, and I mean, that's cinched, guys. Like, that's, I don't even know if I can move that, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's see if I can move. Like, I can barely move that, y'all. And that's 11 pounds of drag. That Curado, I believe, had 12. And I mean, I could just peel it. Like, it was like nothing. And I'm not sure why that is. But I do believe that this is going to be a good reel for the money. I believe it comes in at like 169 or 170 after tax. And it's a nice reel overall. I mean, your dials over here, which, I mean, I still kind of have trouble like moving back and forth, but I believe after a while of moving it, I believe that'll get easier. Like right there, I've figured it out kind of, but I do believe that'll get easier moving that back and forth. Maybe it's almost like with the Curado DC, the system bearings that they have up there, system control, that was kind of difficult to use at first. So like to get it all the way to 4, you had to really press. But that's the Daiwa Tatula. I mean, 7-1-1, 6.9 ounces, 11 pounds of drag, 15 pound Seaguar on there. Favorite Phantom rigged rod, 7-foot medium heavy, fast action. That's gonna be the setup we're gonna be using for a while. I think I'm just gonna put back that SLX and I'm gonna really fish this combo, getting to know it. I've just brought myself to fish that SLX so much because I'm so comfortable with it, catching all my biggest bass on it. But I do want to get this rod out there. I do know that this rod can be good. I've caught fish on this, not on this exact rod, but on a rigged rod before, and I know that they feel good. But we'll get out there. We'll see what we can get done. We'll get some stuff going with other people, and we'll catch some fish. The way fishing's going right now, it's been slow, cold. Today was 25 degrees. No, I won't say 25. It's probably about 28, 30. It was pretty cold outside. It got to the point where you just couldn't even fish because there was ice all over and inside your eyes. But we'll get out there. We'll try to catch some good-sized bass. If not good size, I mean some bass. Any size this time of year is good. But we'll get out there, we'll do a review on this reel one day and just go out and do a cast test and all that kind of stuff, and we might even put it up against that Shimano SLX. I mean, $100 reel versus a $170 reel. See where they're coming into line.